Are you struggling to achieve consistent profitability in your trading? Do you have this sort of backtesting data on your trading strategies? Gathering that sort of backtest data is what clicked for me and helped me become a profitable trader. And in today's video, I'm going to take you through step by step how you can have ThinkorSwim, which is a free active trading software, gather this data on your strategy for you automatically. The purpose of this video is not going to be strategy creation. I have already made hundreds of videos on how to code within ThinkorSwim. So you have a ton of reference material you can go check out after this video to learn how to implement your strategy into ThinkScript. The purpose of this video is going to be taking the data that the strategy provides and getting it into the Excel sheet and getting your own backtested data like you saw in the intro of this video. So the strategy that I've created for this video is a simple moving average crossover strategy. When the 9 crosses above the 20, we buy, vice versa, we sell. That's the strategy. You see it running on the SPY daily chart here. You see the entrances and exits. But with ThinkScript, these are not automated trades. It is not actually taking these trades for you. It is simply providing you, once again, with data so that you can backtest and optimize your strategy. And this is extremely powerful because what this allows me to do, and what I'll show you later, but I want to touch on it now just so you understand the importance of this video, is that once we get our data and we go, okay, this is what the strategy looks like on the SPY daily chart, we can come in and we can go look at the, well, what's the 90 versus the 200 look like? Hit apply. Just like that, we've ran a whole nother back test. We would gather this data and go look at that as well. Think about how much time that saves. Think about the difference in that quick 5-second button clicks and keyboard changes that I entered versus having to go back and find all the examples of these entrances and exits manually once again. This stuff is so important. Please don't just brush it off. Please don't just think like, oh, I don't have a technical brain, so I can't figure this stuff out. I'm just going to keep going about drawing lines on a chart and hoping. If you're not making money, the kind of money you want to be making in the stock market, I'm not here to tell you that this will make you rich. I'm here to tell you this will help. And if you're interested in any ThinkScript trading strategies that already exist, have already been proven, I have published a handful of my own over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. Link at the top of the description. We'll see you over there. Anyway, let me come off my motivational speech there and come back to the point of this video. Now that you have the strategy entrances and exits plotting on the chart the way you would want them to, what you can do if you right-click any of the buy or sell arrows, this show report option is available. If you click on this, it is going to give you a pretty decent report of the trade, your trade P&L, your running P&L over time. And if you scroll down to the bottom, it's going to give you a little bit of data, your max trade P&L, your total trade P&L, and the total number of orders that were placed. But we need more than this. We want to see our win percentage, our average, our max win, max loss, a running P&L chart like this. We want to see more than what is just provided within ThinkorSwim. So pretty simply, what we're going to do, we're going to export this file. This is going to be a CSV export, and I'll show you how to get it into Excel. Alrighty, so in a blank Excel document, if we come to File, Open, and I'm going to go ahead and browse and find that document. I saved it into my documents. Make sure this is set to all files. By default, it is normally all Excel files, but you need to be on all files, as this is, of course, a CSV. This strategy reports, SPY, blah, blah, blah. Going to go ahead and open this. It's going to give it to us in a really, really gross CSV format. The easy fix for this, with the A column highlighted, as that's where all your data is, go to the Data tab in Excel, go to Text to Columns, delimit by semicolon, then hit Finish, hit OK, and it spreads the data out into columns. Now, we can take this data, this readable data from our strategy, and extrapolate all kinds of statistics from it. There is one major hurdle that we have to fix before we can begin calculating our back-tested results, though. The way that I imported and delimited the CSV file. Now listen, there's absolute Excel wizards out there. And if any of you know a better way to do this, please put it in the comment section down below. Help everybody and myself out in the future. But all I can teach you is how I do this, right? So the way that I import and delimit my CSV file, any number over 1,000 doesn't get shown. Any number after where a comma would be doesn't get shown, either in the single trade P&L or in the running trade P&L, which essentially makes these two columns useless. So what we need to do, what I do, is I come in and I manually calculate the single trade and running trade P&L. So for the single trade P&L, at the first cell to close, because it's showing both buys and sells for all of your trades. It's showing every order, right? I'm going to take the sum of the price that I sold at. Let's do another parentheses. The price that I sold at multiplied by the number of shares that I bought. And then I'm going to subtract this from the price that I bought at, also obviously multiplied by the amount of shares that I bought. That is just obviously a simple way to calculate single trade P&L, but it's what needs to be done, unfortunately, manually, so that any trade that profits or loses over 1,000 is also properly shown. Now, the next thing we want to do is obviously drag this so that it is on every single row. But since this is showing buys and sells, we can't just simply do that. The first thing we need to do is turn on this filter, and on the side here, let's make it show only cells so that when we drag this column down, once again, I'm pretty sure there's a keyboard shortcut to do this. I'm no Excel wizard. It is now showing, if we go back up, it is now showing just the trade P&Ls on where the trades exited so that they are properly calculated. You can see here, bought 100 shares at $43.84, sold at $43.78, $6 lost. Bought at $44.44, sold at $54.90, or sorry, I can't talk. Sold at $44.94. That is a 50-cent gain on 100 shares, $50 gain, right? That's how we recalculate these single trade P&Ls so that, as you can now tell, whenever we have a trade profit or losing over 1,000, it actually shows correctly. All right, so we fixed our single trade P&L. Now we need to fix our running total P&L, which is relatively easy to do if I once again filter out this side column so that we only see the cells to close, so that we're only doing calculations on when the trade closes, which is of course when you know the P&L of the trade, right? If I go ahead and just this first one, I'm going to type in whatever the value is here, and then from there I'm going to do equals sum of that value plus the value of the current trade. Close that bracket. Then if I grab this and drag it all the way down so that the formula executes on all of these, it is a long P&L. If I drag this out, you will see up $30,590. If I jump back over into ThinkorSwim, it is currently up 30, if I could hover, 31,800. Now, why the difference? The difference because ThinkorSwim is currently in a trade and doing actually pretty well in it. This strategy is. So that's your difference. Since we're going off of only what is currently sold, the floating P&L right now is a little bit different. But since it's that close, we pretty much know it's right. Actually, let's look at the column before here. Oh yeah, perfect. If we look at the bar before this entrance was, this trade was entered, 30,592. Seems like the calculation was done correctly. Now that you have this data, you're free to calculate anything you want with it. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what I normally calculate in my backtest. We're going to calculate the total P&L. We're going to calculate the win percentage. We're going to calculate the average P&L, meaning every trade you take, what is the kind of expected outcome. We're going to type in our max win, and we're going to type in our max loss. If I type in L and W here, so that makes sense. That is going to be what we calculate here. Total P&L, really easy, equals sum of all of these single trades. You get $30,590. Now we get into a little bit of fun Excel math. The win percentage, of course, we're going to divide the number of winning trades by the total number of trades. To do this, I'm going to type in equals count if. open parentheses, we're going to look at the G column because this is our single trade P&L column. And then I'm going to put a comma, open quotations is greater than 0, close quotations, close parentheses. And then we're going to divide that by a total count, not a count if, a total count of the G column. That's going to give us 0.528. If you don't know, if I come in, right click, go to format cells, turn this into a percentage, 2 decimal places is fine. That will give me that 52.85% win percentage. These next 3 calculations, however, pretty straightforward. For the average P&L, I'm going to type in average of the single trade column. That's our average P&L, our max win. If I type in equals max, we look at the, once again, G column, as those are our single trades. There's our max win. And then for our max loss, I'm going to type in min and then look at the G column. And there is our max L. If I go ahead and I format these cells out to a currency so that they look prettier, our average P&L, so every trade we take, the average with the wins and losses comes to $158 a trade. Max win, 4,036. Max loss, 3,504. Now, let's go ahead and insert in a fun chart as well. Insert a 2D line chart. Right click, select data. I want the data to be of the running P&L column here. Go ahead and take that. You now also have your chart of, obviously, the running P&L of this backtest. We did it. We took a strategy out of ThinkorSwim, extrapolated all that data into a CSV file, got it into Excel, made it readable, calculated some meaningful statistics, gave it a fun little graph. Now we have some information about this strategy. Now, is any of this useful? Not really. The point of this video was to show you how to do this. To actually perform real backtesting, you would need to do it against smaller subsets of data across multiple different types of stocks and multiple different sectors and combine all that data so that you get some real meaningful backtested information moving forward, not just how did a simple crossover strategy perform on the entire SPY daily chart, which we know has gone straight up since inception in February of 1993, right? So is this actually meaningful? Is this how you should actually backtest? No, but once again, that's not the point of this video. If you would like to see a video like that, make sure you hit like on this. That's the easiest way to show me you all are interested. And remember, if you want access to strategies that I've already performed all of this backtesting on, as well as a multitude of indicators and scanners, there's over 45 different custom ThinkScript codes you will get. Go to daytradingstrategies.net, link at the top of the description. You're going to get access to all of them for only $25. If you don't think that's worth the price, maybe you can't be helped, but I'll make it even sweeter for you. As I always say, you guys that make it to the end of my videos, you guys are the ones most likely to make it. You guys are the ones taking your trading education seriously, so I really want to give you an extra boost. I really want to make sure you all are getting into this systematic trading, which changed my trading forever. So use discount code END at checkout. You'll get your first month for only $15. As always, remember, you can easily cancel at any time with just a couple of mouse clicks under the My Account tab, so don't feel locked in. Daytradingstrategies.net, link in the top of the description down below. Go sign up today and become a better trader.
Trading stocks. He talks about trading stocks. It's important for you Americans and other international individuals to learn about stocks.